All right, so with that, we're going to move ahead. It is 3:46. We are moving into our last substantive session. And for this one, we are going to shift gears and revisit a topic that has been mentioned a few times today, is of increased importance in the profession over the past number of years, that being mental health. And before we dive right into that, we have another sponsor to thank for our plenary today. This is Lawyers Financial. I think we have someone here from Lawyers Financial to give us a shout out if they want to unmute and introduce themselves for a minute.
Hi, thank you. Yes, I'm David Camps from Lawyers Financial.
Hi there, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to work for an organization that exists for the sole purpose of serving you, a profession entirely dedicated to serving others. It's in that spirit that I'd like to share 3 of the ways Lawyers Financial can support your well-being and help you protect what matters most. 1, by helping you create a financial plan. We know money is the #1 cause of stress for 4 out of 10 Canadians, according to the Financial Stress Index in 2020. And more than 50% of Canadians lose sleep over financial worries. Being a not-for-profit gives us the freedom to support you in ways that don't always make us money. And one of those ways is by giving you free access to a certified financial planner. 2, by sponsoring core insurance programs, many at break-even prices. Even before the pandemic, we were seeing evidence of stress within the legal community. We see this in the form of prolonged disability claims related to mental health. And disability insurance can protect your income. Life insurance can protect your family, and both offer the immeasurable value of peace of mind. 3, by sponsoring the first and only defined benefit pension plan available to law firms regardless of size. And when a firm joins DB+, they effectively outsource the stress of retirement planning and reward their employees with guaranteed retirement benefits that are paid for life. That's it. That's my commercial. On behalf of Lawyers Financial, thank you, all of you, for the work that you do.
Thank you so much for that, David. And thank you, Lawyers Financial, for being part of our plenary. We really appreciate that. I'm going to now introduce our next speaker in our session today, and I'm pleased to welcome Beth Beatty. Beth, in turn, will introduce the other participants in the next session. Beth is currently a senior counsel at the Ministry of the Attorney General Civil Law Division. Beth has broad experience in health law litigation. She was called to the bar in 1994. She has a master's of law in ADR, and she's more recently emerged as an agent of change in the mental health space within the legal profession and has helped thousands by openly sharing her mental health experience and leading discussions about how to make a cultural impact in the legal sector when it comes to conversations about mental health. And so for that, Beth was recently recognized with the Law Society Medal. And so we're delighted to have Beth with us here today to lead this discussion. And Beth, I'm going to turn it over to you. You have the floor to introduce your counterparts and take it away.
Right. Thank you very much for that introduction, that very kind introduction. I won't take too much time up with the intros of my colleagues, just because we want to get right into the meat of things. But I'll say that we're all members of Voices for Mental Health, which is a group comprised of members, employees of the Ministry of the Attorney General. And all of us have lived mental health experience or have cared for a loved one with lived experience. And today we're touching upon 3 really pressing issues that I think most of us, a lot of us, certainly we know people who have experienced things like imposter syndrome, addiction, and peer mentoring, which is something that's really developing in the legal profession. And we're going to have Jason Balgopal speak to that. So why don't I just ask them to, I think the technology is now set up that they can introduce themselves to the main group, starting with Jason. Jason, if you're there.
Hi, thanks very much for having me. Looking very much forward to this hour that we're going to spend together. I think it's going to be really, really instructive for you all. I think you're going to enjoy it. My name is Jason Balgopal. I'm an assistant crown attorney in the Scarborough office, and I've been there since 2004. I was a lawyer called in 1999, and I know the program today allows me to get more in depth into my background in our individual sessions. So I'll just curtail it there.
That's great, Jason. Thank you. And how about Myra?
Hi there. I'm really happy to be here, happy to be part of this. I'm a lawyer with the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks, and have been with Environment for 32 years, except for a 2-year stint in the criminal courts downtown Toronto. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to, as Jason says, we'll get into the session. I'm part of the imposter syndrome session, which I feel highly qualified for. So.
Myra and I, we were recently involved in a session on this exact topic, and there was no shortage of conversation or questions. And Stephen, you're also going to be part of the imposter syndrome session, Stephen Lockwood.
Yeah, so I'll be part of the breakout group with Myra. I have been a lawyer with the Ministry of the Attorney General since 2007. Started doing litigation, for the last while more solicitor work, and recently became deputy director, but have lots of lived experience with imposter syndrome, as well as anxiety and depression. And so we'll talk about that a little bit more in our session.
Great, thanks so much, Stephen. And then Imran Kamal is going to be speaking to addiction. Are you on the line there, Imran?
Yes, I am. Thanks, Beth. Yeah, so my name is Imran Kamal. I work for the Ministry of the Attorney General at the Civil Crown Law Office. And I recently joined MEG. Prior to that, I was working at the Catholic Children's Aid Society of Hamilton for 7 years, exclusively in child protection. And prior to that, I did a short stint in private practice in Oakville, practicing family law.
Okay, so that's it for the introductions. Thanks to everyone so much. And I think the folks who are attending, you're going to find this a star-studded group of people who are very knowledgeable in their respective areas. So whatever we need to do to get to the breakout rooms would be great.
Yeah, I can just go over that. At the bottom of the screens, just like the last session, but for the presenters on here now, you might not know, is the 3 dots at the bottom of your screen. That's, click on that and it will lead you to breakout rooms. You guys can each go to your respective breakout rooms and plunk yourselves there, and the other attendees will follow suit, either starting now or as in a moment. So the room A, imposter syndrome, everyone from in a law association beginning with Algoma ending in Hastings can go and start on that group room A. Room B is going to be every law association between Huron and Peterborough. Room C, addiction, is every law association from Prescott Russell all the way through to the end of the alphabet, and that includes the letter W. So you can start there, and then it's the same flow. So you will we'll give you a 2-minute warning in about 18 minutes, and you will then come back to the main room and then select the next group. So A to B, B to C, C to A, and then repeat one more time, and we're done.